And I mean, that's the situation. They're trying to improve every week, and every week is a challenge for them, and they've done a great job so far.
Lehigh Valley Conference football, Central Catholic Parkland. It's coming up next on TV2 Sports.
Will lead us in our opening prayer.
Welcome back to J. Bernie Crum Stadium. There is Josh Hinkle, who is a quarterback for the Central Catholic Vikings. Josh is having a fine season. And Jim, when we look at Central Catholic offensively, he is the guy that makes this offense go.
Exactly, Doug. You see where he's passed for 971 yards this year. I'm telling you, he can throw the short pass, can throw the long pass, and has a lot of escapability, which is the thing that has really helped him over the years and get people out of jams a lot of the times. His receivers really like him because they know they're going to get that ball right on them numbers.
And Hinkle's a guy that's a transfer from Deer, started in the program last year, and really over the course of this season has come around. He's had some great games, and we take a look defensively of their leader, Jason Eretz, number 35, had 3 sacks last week alone against Whitehall, has 4. Central as a team has 24 defensively, and Eretz is going to be a key guy not only in the passing game tonight, but also trying to attack this rushing game against Parkland.
Also another great athlete, gets all over the field, does a good job of getting to the ball, has a nose for the football, very, very good. 24 tackles on the season, as you see there. It's just a great job. Whenever you see that pile unfolding, you're usually going to see number 35 at the bottom of it.
About set to get underway. Central Catholic will tee things off tonight. Parkland will receive in their road gray jerseys, taken at the 15-yard line. There's a penalty flag down the first play of the ball game. That was returned by number 31, Stephen Benavage. Not bad field position, but we may have a penalty on the first kickoff of the ball game against Parkland.
Well, this is the thing that we've talked about a couple times this year with teams. They want to start out on a positive note, and we've seen it happen a lot of times this year that right off the get-go, there's been penalties that have happened.
It's going to be a block in the back against the Parkland Trojans. Take a look at Donnie Roberts. Very anxious to get things going here tonight. Joe Lagenza, our referee this evening, calls the first penalty of the game. This puts your offense in a bad spot. You know, Central Catholic is fired up. We talk about how both of these teams have an excellent chance of representing the district in the playoffs. Central Catholic currently number 1 in the 3A rankings, and Parkland going into tonight's game is number 3, or number 4, could move up to number 3 with a win. So they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. Olson and Adam Attia in the backfield behind quarterback Phil Surfas. And this is going to be Olson, and a lot of room on the right side. Can they catch him? He's at midfield. Matt Melly in pursuit, and he'll catch Olson at the 25. They're going to spot it at the 23. What a play to start things off here for the Trojans.
Well, we talked about him in the open, Doug, and obviously he doesn't let anybody have disappointment from the beginning. What happens to him is he gets behind the blockers, and you can see that people don't have a sight line of him. But before you get the sight line, Melly finally got the sight line there, and all of a sudden he's in a foot race down the sideline with him, ends up getting him down there, but not before a big, big gain by Eddie Olson.
They'll spot it at the 23.5-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Trojans. They're in Central Catholic territory. They've run just one play. Here is Attia on the quick hitter. He'll get down to the 20-yard line. Tom Braxmeyer along with Melly and Bill Fashing on the stop for the Vikings.
Good job by Attia. What's happened this year in the last couple weeks is the fact that since Olson has opened up that running game for him so well, Attia in the fullback situation has become a lot better because they can use them on that off slant tackle type thing that they used a lot of the times last year with Nick Pinchek, but they haven't been able to use that in the beginning of the year. And now with Olson opening up those situations, it makes it easier to use Attia, and they complement each other very well.
2nd down, play action. They hand it off to Olson, tries to find a seam, gets inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Matt Melly helping out. Braxmeyer and Fashing again at the bottom of that pile, along with Mark Fogarty, number 26. You know, when we talked to Donnie Roberts, Jim, about what he needed to do defensively, he talked about containing this run game, keeping him, trying to get him around the outside, and with what Olson did on the first play, that was awfully dangerous. 3rd down and 5, and here's Olson again. He'll get down inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 16. He's going to be about 2 yards short. Bill Fashing, number 55 on the stop, will be calling his name a lot
You
tonight.
see another thing here, Doug. What he does very well for a guy who really hasn't played football since his freshman year is he waits for his blockers, waits for things to develop, and waits for things to happen. And that's the kind of thing that, you know, sometimes coaches can coach and coach and coach a kid until he's a senior, and they finally kick in with that. But here's a guy who hadn't played since his freshman year, just has that natural ability to wait and make things happen after the blocks happen for him.
4th down and 2, the Trojans will go. Atia and Olsen in the eye behind Surfas. Here's Olsen to the right, and he's going to spin and get enough for the first down. He'll get down to about the 17-yard line. That extra effort gives him the first down. Joe McFadden, among others, on the stop for Central Catholic.
Well, the big question coming into tonight was, are they going to be able, is Central going to be able to handle the offensive and defensive lines of Parkland a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger? That time you saw, opened up a nice hole, got him enough for the first down.
The line of scrimmage is the 13-yard line. Play action, Surfas, a lot of room on the far side. He's going to keep it himself. Dave Horton hog ties him down inside the 5, maybe to the 3. Close enough probably for a measurement. Nice play by Phil Surfas on first down.
Well, once again, there's a play that at the beginning of the year would have never worked that well. But now that you have Olsen and everybody keying on him, you see half the Central team over there. Now you can run that bootleg and go to the other side. Basically that fake, not a bootleg, a fake to the opposite side, and get a lot of yardage out of it.
Well, he got about 9.5. He's a couple lengths short of the first down. So they're calling it 2nd and 1. Just underway in the first quarter, and Parkland is threatening here. Here is Olsen on the keeper to the left, and he'll take it into the end zone. Scott Christie drags him down, but Olsen gets a touchdown on the first drive for the Trojans tonight.
What's most underestimated about this guy right here is his lower body strength, and we talk about that week after week. He just carries number 23 into the end zone with him, Scott Christie, and it's just all with leg power, Doug, and it's just what everybody fails to realize, how much leg power this young man has.
Brad Wallace in for the extra point. Quick work by the Trojans. Plenty of leg, and it's through for the 7th point of the night. So the Trojans take the early lead with 9:10 to go. Didn't take long. Very impressive drive by Parkland.
Well, one of the things I think is one of the most unheralded things that you'll see a replay of the touchdown. Good job by the offensive line. Once again, see a good block by Atia there at the point, and then Olsen does the rest of getting it into the end zone. You're going to see once again Atia with a good block. See, he gets that great kick-out block. Olsen carries Christie into the end zone with him. But it's the fact that in these games, a lot of mental aspects. A lot of mental aspects. When you have that opening run like that, you get the Central kids start thinking twice. Well, maybe, you know, maybe he is that good. Maybe we're, you know, maybe we are in trouble. That's the kind of thing that, you know, it's a great jump for Parkland. A very big detriment for Central there in the opening drive. You
know, you bring that up. Donnie Roberts talked about it about almost 2 hours ago about making this team human, and that's what they talked to the kids all week about. It's just another football team, but when you have a drive like that, it gets in the back of the players' heads, and you could see after that run, that's what happened. So the Vikings will take their first possession of the ball game after that Parkland drive. Olsen accounted for 74 yards on that drive. Here's Tyler McCambridge in the end zone, and he will not be allowed to bring that one out. So a touchback.
As you see Coach Malosky there congratulating his kicker.
So the Vikings start their first drive from their own 20-yard line. Josh Hinkle under center. Jason Eretz in the backfield, the lone back. They have an offset look. Sam Martucci, who was injured, back in the lineup tonight. Play action to McCambridge. Hinkle's going to throw right off the bat, and he was looking downfield. That was Joe McFadden, the intended receiver. That'll fall incomplete. Covered by Brendan Gallagher.
You're going to have a situation here, Doug, where Greg Granlund comes in there real quick. And the other thing is Hinkle loses his footing there, which didn't really help that play. But that's the thing that Parkland's been improving week by week. Very similar to last year's team, when every week the defense got better and better and better. And with those defensive ends you have in there, like Travis Decker and Jones, those things are really going to make those inside people's job a lot easier.
2nd down and 10 for the Vikings after the incomplete pass, and this time it's going to go to McCambridge. He'll come near side. He'll get about 6 up to the 26-yard line. Ryan Quilling, number 14, comes from his safety position to make the stop.
Cambridge, a nice little back. You're going to see him here. He's 5'9", 172 pounds. Gets a nice block outside. Good job by the tight end, number 90, coming inside there, Joe McFadden, giving him a good block inside that also helps. The Cambridge did a nice job on that run.
We saw Ed Olson, 32. He plays cornerback as well, and that's really where he got his start this season. Big interception return against Liberty in week 2 to start things off. 3rd down, Hinkle to throw, looking far side for Horton. And if his forward progress is spotted, which it is, that should be good enough for a Viking 1st down. Horton leading the team in receptions this season. He's got 35 for 410 yards.
You see a nice job there by Hinkle. Looks right first and then goes back to his left and gets a good pass outside there to Horton, as Horton got the forward progress and the 1st down for the Vikings.
31-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Hinkle to throw again. Over the middle, he was looking for McCambridge, a little too far. That'll go incomplete. Nearly picked off by Quilling.
Good job in the secondary that time once again by Ryan Quilling. As you're going to see, he's throwing off a flat foot, though. He's not really throwing with authority tonight yet, and that's the situation. His footing has not been real good. He overthrows Cambridge here. He's just throwing it, and he's not throwing it from a set position, and that's a little bit of a problem with tonight for him so far.
Central splits the receivers. Horton to the top, Manny Rodriguez to the bottom, and it's going to be a draw this time to Scott Christie. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down, bringing up a 3rd down and about 9.5. Nowhere to go for Scott Christie, his 1st carry of the ball game.
But you're sure that what's going to happen is the Central wants to make them spread the field out a little bit, try to take away some of that athleticism on the defense, trying to take away some of that physicality. And with Hinkle, you got a great weapon in the backfield to do that with.
Hinkle in the shotgun on 3rd down. Flushed out of the pocket. He's got some room. Makes a move at the 35. He'll slide down at the 40, which is going to be well short of a Viking 1st down. They're going to spot it at the 39. Going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, his standoff came up and gave him an awareness that he might get hit, and Hinkle went down, but short of the 1st down, as the Vikings will be forced to punt.
Shane Cashano, the punter tonight for Central Catholic. They've got their long snapper back, Aaron Harlocker, number 44, so things a little bit more comfortable for the special teams. And this will take a Trojan roll and be down at about the 42 by Matt Melly. So excellent field position for the Parkland Trojans on their 2nd drive. They lead 7-0.
Good defensive stand by Parkland. Did a nice job of doing what they had to do, giving pressure against Hinkle, which is what they came into this game looking to do.
Talked about Olson. He accounted for 74 yards on that 7-play drive that went for a touchdown. We'll see what the Vikings can do defensively here as they face this Trojan offense for the 2nd time. Attia and Olson behind Sirfas in the eye. Olson again up the middle with a block by Attia. He'll get to the 44. Colby Seawitz on the stop, wearing number 81.
Well, the thing he does is you see Coach Miloski there with number 17, Phil Sirfas, is that he just keeps those legs moving, and he doesn't want to be put down. And that's the thing that a lot of backs, when they get that first hit in high school, just lay down and go over, and that's the end of it. But with him, you got a lot of that leg power. Keep moving.
2nd down and 7. Olson got 3. This time it's Adam Attia. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Might have run into his own player. Joe McFadden at the bottom of that pile again. Colby Seawoods, number 81, helping out.
Well, it was interesting that time that Central really filled up the box there defensively, almost forcing them to think about the pass play. And I wouldn't be surprised here to see Coach Miloski come up with a pass here soon, because if they keep trying to do that, they're going to, as it is 3rd and 7, they're probably going to try to look at the pass play anyway. But if they keep trying to force that thing inside with the box being filled, they may come up with a pass play here soon.
3rd down and 7 for the Trojans. Play action, Sirfas on the shovel pass. It's complete, but nowhere to go. In fact, they lose a couple yards back to the 43. Brandon Kuiper, number 24, got the reception, but for a loss of a couple and a good defensive series for Central Catholic.
You're going to see number 53 Tom Braxmeyer come flying in to finish off the job, but the guy who did the best thing there was number 81 Colby Sinowitz, who got in there early and just did a nice job of breaking that play up.
Tyler McCambridge back deep to receive this punt inside his own 20-yard line. McCambridge will let it take a hop, and it takes a Trojan roll. Down at the 16. Eric Rossner downs the ball for Parkland. So a good series for the Viking defense. You know, we talked about Jones and Decker. Seawitz and McFadden, not too bad defensive ends for Central Catholic.
Right, in a district full of great defensive ends. That's the thing that you want to look at. I mean, when you think about it all across the state, I would venture to say there's not a lot of districts that can boast of the situation of having the amount of defensive ends and good defensive ends that District 11 is producing this year.
Here's McCambridge on the draw on first down. He'll get up to the 19, maybe the 20-yard line. Travis Decker is over there, number 85 for Parkland. Short gain on first down. Helped out also by number 71, Shane Schneider. One of the names mentioned by Rob Milosky about that defensive line, that they're really coming around.
Yeah, he talked a lot about that, as you see Coach Roberts on your screen there. Coach Milosky talked a lot about that defensive line, and that's the situation. And coming into the year, I think they're a little bit weary about what they were going to do, but they've come into their own and done a good job here lately.
Play action to McCambridge, looking for McFadden, complete for a first down and more, up to the 34-yard line. Nice play by Central Catholic. Nick Guida, 27 on the tackle.
Well, see, this is the thing that Hinkle can do to you. Nice. He goes underneath. McFadden does a nice job. He drags across the middle, gets himself open. McFadden's a big target, 6'1", 190. Hinkle does a good job of threading that needle, getting the ball in there. That's what we said in the open he can do. He can throw the ball deep, or he can throw it inside. And, you know, just as good vertically as he is laterally as far as throwing the football.
Ryan Bookery returns to the Central Catholic lineup wearing number 45. Rodriguez came in motion, and this is Aritz on the carry, number 35. He'll get up to the 35-yard line. Bookery was out of the lineup last week against Whitehall. Missed maybe more defensively. He came in to play previous lineup as a wing, so Central Catholic starting to get healthy again.
That's the thing that Coach told us before the game. You know, that's the thing. Always when you have numbers sometimes that aren't real big, that health is a very, very important factor. Starting to get some guys back in the lineup.
Here is McCambridge on a trap. He'll get over the 35 up to the 37-yard line. A helmet comes out. That is not a football. That is Adam Attia's helmet that comes off his head.
Well, that doesn't surprise you there, because he is just one physical player, and Coach Milosky will be the first one to tell you. A great article this week about him in Pennsylvania Football News. You know, Adam Attia, Player of the Week in the state of Pennsylvania. Nice article about him and his family, and coaches talked real great about what, you know, his attitude. Started as a freshman, one of the first people to ever start as a freshman for Parkland High School. So he's a tough guy, and you know that he's one of these guys, Doug, that could probably play without a helmet.
You got that right. He did for a while there. Third down for the Vikings, 8 yards, as Hinkle sits back in the shotgun. That is Aritz to his left. McCambridge goes in motion, and Hinkle's going to throw. Looking that way to McCambridge, and it's going to be nearly intercepted. Ryan Quilling had that one go in and out of his hands. Quilling, the free safety, came over to make the play.
Well, you're going to see they have McCambridge go in motion across the field. Then he goes out and up. And the thing, when he goes out and up and out, again, he tries to make that last out part, but Quilling was right there. Did a nice job of being right on the spot. Good breakup by Quilling.
So the Trojan defense bent a little, gave up a first down, but did not break. We had a penalty flag on that last play, but it's going to be declined. It was against Central Catholic. So they'll take the punt, fourth down. Shane Cashano in for the second time tonight. Attia is the up back, if you want to call it that, for the Trojans. Olson is the deep back to return this Cashano punt. Olson takes it at his 29, and there is David Horton to meet him. No return for Eddie Olson. McCambridge was down there to help out as well.
were talking about that today, Doug, about that halo rule and the elimination of the halo. I don't know. I'm really surprised when you think about it. And I've seen a couple times this year where it's been very, very dangerous in the games that we've done, that the kids are right on top of each other, and there's been some tremendous hits this year. And if they're looking for the safety of the kids,
yeah,
I don't know. I have a little problem with that elimination of that rule.
I don't know who's going to want to do that anymore if they keep that non-rule in effect, because it's awfully hard to get anybody to want to come back there and take a punt return.
I mean, and you get the coaches hollering at kids sometimes, I don't want you to take a fair catch because it puts us in a bad position. But, you know, when you're in that position, it's awfully tough.
It's like trying to dodge bullets at the end of a gun. Olson gets the carry on first down. He gets a yard up to the 30-yard line.
You're going to see a good job once again. See the lead block, and that's what Atia does. He gets a good job there. They open up a nice hole on the left side of that line, and good job once again by Eddie Olson. Can give you the inside, can give you the outside.
You got a couple. 2nd down and 8. Olson's going to hand off to Kuiper, or this is Kuiper, number 24, on that little inside reverse. He'll get inside Viking territory down to the 38. Scott Christie runs him out of bounds. Brandon Kuiper, we've seen this play run so many times in this Trojan offense.
I was just going to say, Doug, we have seen this run 1,000 times, but it's the same effect every time. That time, though, there was a missed tackle in the backfield, would have made this play non-eventful. But what happens is if you can pop it past the line of scrimmage, you're usually going to get a big gain.
38-yard line, almost just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Here's Surfas on the play action. He's going to throw this time, looking for Atia out of the backfield. Mark Fogarty runs him down.
Surfas' pass is completed to number 25, Adam Atia, tackled.
Well, that time Parkland had really flooded the area out there. Jones was open downfield, but good blocking by the offensive line as Atia hauls that one in.
The 33-yard line, the line of scrimmage of the Vikings. The Trojans are driving once again. They lead this game 7-0, 40 seconds to go in this first quarter tonight from J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Atia and Olson, the offset look. Here is Ed Olson on the carry, this time to the left. Gets a nice block up front, but there is Joe McFadden to end things. Bill Fashing, 55, helping out as well. Fogarty and Melly.
Keith Lynn gave him a good block there, as you said, on the outside. Number 60 gives him a good block, as you're going to see it coming right at you here. He gives him a good block on the outside. As you see, does a nice job of burying that defensive end. But what happens is Central does a good job of getting up to the line of scrimmage.
Now that's the end of the first quarter. The Trojans start things off on their first drive, run the distance, and they lead 7-0. Back with the second quarter right after this on TV2 Sports. J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Doug Heater along with Jim Wills. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Lehigh Valley Conference matchup on TV2 Sports. The second game, or the second week of divisional play in the Lehigh division between these two teams, both coming in 1-0 in the division and both looking to solidify a spot in the District 11 playoffs. And the Trojans took the ball first, drove down the field, and since then they were stopped, and Central Catholic trying to do it again. Here they face this 3rd down and 4. Olson to the left. Extra effort's going to get him a first down inside the 30-yard line down to the 25. He was hit in the backfield by Melly, but he broke free once again.
Well, that's what we talked about the whole game. You're going to see it. You see now he's going out, he's getting that ball. He's going to get in this situation where somebody has him in the backfield, but it's not going to happen, because if you don't grab and hold and wrap up, he's going to use that leg power, and once again gets another first down for the Trojans.
Surfas sends Eric Rosner to the top of your screen, number 44, first down. It's a fumble, and I think the Vikings got it. It might be Fashing on the bottom of that pile. Well, Central's got it, and it was Colby Seawitz that came up with the recovery, number 81. A big break for the Vikings.
You're going to see a bad exchange, a missed handoff here in the backfield. It comes right out of his hands as he came back from the center, had no chance to recover it, and you see there as Colby Seawitz, number 81, right on the spot.
Well, Rob Milosky told us before the game, Jim, he wants to have a turnover-free game. They haven't done it yet, and there is the first one of the night. 1st and 10, Hinkle to McCambridge, bounces it outside to the right, gets a couple up to the 29. Brandon Gallagher, number 49, one of the players over there.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for Central.
McCambridge and Eretz on 2nd down in the backfield for the Vikings. Hinkle, play action's going to throw, looking for McFadden, complete, wide open at the 40, and he fumbles the ball. And I think the Trojans might have wrestled it away. And nope, Central Catholic and McFadden got it back. Actually, Sam Martucci was the one that fell on that one, and they gained a couple yards on the fumble. They'll take it at 1st and 10 at the Trojan 42.
Good job by Hinkle. They're going to test the secondary of Parkland here tonight. Hinkle's going to give them all they can handle. You know, he's really, you know, a tough guy to figure out back in the pocket. And I'll tell you, see the way he was going one way and through the other, Doug? I mean, that's the thing. He's got a lot of arm strength, and he can do that very, very well. And it was a great job as the ball does get away from McFadden, and Central does recover.
Here is Hinkle to throw again on 1st down, and he's going to be sacked back at the 50-yard line. Jones is one, but the sack is going to go to 54, and that's Greg Granlund that got the sack for the Trojans.
Well, that's the thing with the Trojans. They got that speed, and Granlund, I'll tell you, is just getting better and better every week at 5'11", 215. He's just gets better and better and better. And what happens is they had a screen set up there, but they never got a chance to get that thing going because Granlund, number 54, got in there too quick.
A loss of 8 moves it to a 2nd and 18. Eretz and McCambridge. This is Sam Martucci going in motion. Hinkle's going to throw on a deep drop. Pressured, and he'll be taken down for the 2nd straight sack way back to the 42-yard line. And there is Granlund again.
Well, as we said, Doug, they're not going to be able to play strength on strength with this group right now. They're going to have to make it a little bit shorter game. You know, those receivers might not be running the crispest patterns because Hinkle has time. You know, he has about 3 to 4 seconds back there, but then the pocket starts collapsing, and Granlund and company are right in there on top of him.
They lost 6, 3rd down and 24. After that big completion to McFadden, the Vikings have gone backwards. A little flare to McCambridge with a block by Horton, but defensed very well. Nick Guida over there, along with Heath Standorf, number 15.
Well, they figured they might be able to get something out real quick, get away from the rush, get a little quick screen out here to the outside. But you got to have the blocking, and you also got to have Nick Guida, somebody blocking him.
So Cashano will punt once again, standing at his own 32. Gets it off clean. Eddie Olson at the 25. Takes it on the run. McCambridge misses a tackle, and he'll get about 7 more up to the 32, 33-yard line. Excellent. Well, we'll say excellent. Good field position for the Trojans one more time. They lead this ball game 7-0. 8:32 to go. 2nd quarter. Well, you know, you take away that long Olsen run, and this Viking defense has done a good, solid job against this Trojan offense.
Exactly, Doug, and that's what I said. They started off on that sour note, and obviously mentally they get you a little bit down in that first drive when you give up that big run, but they've come back, and they've really rallied back, and Parkland's trying to give them their best shot here.
Attia and Olsen in the backfield. Here is Eddie Olsen behind big Adam Attia. Met right there about the 35 by Scott Christie. He makes the initial hit. 23 for the Vikings. Good run on 1st down.
Well, you're going to see, if you talk to any of the people, even the college recruiters from last year's team, when they had that situation going with Pinchek and getting that lead block like you see there with Attia, that makes it all the world of a difference coming out of that backfield. I mean, the offensive line, I'm not taking anything away from them. They do a great job. But when that fullback gets in that blocking mode like you've had last year with Pinchek and then this year with Attia, that makes the life of the other halfback an awful lot easier.
Olsen got 4. Brandon Kuiper goes in motion, and he'll get the handoff on the reverse. He'll spin forward to the 45. A Trojan first down. Tom Braxmeyer over there for the Vikings to make the stop. Fogarty and McFadden as well.
Well, you're going to see it, though. They keep them very tight. Then all of a sudden they give them a little misdirection. And you're going to see the situation evolves there with Brandon Kuiper. Gets up a little head of steam and cuts that corner and does a good job. He's a senior, 5'11", 175. You know, nothing fancy, just, you know, doing a good job of what they're doing. They're staying in very tight, obviously. They're not splitting out anybody. They stay in tight, get a lot of blocking up front, and use that backfield in different variations.
Here's Olson trying to find a seam, doesn't find one. Scott Christie, now that is Tom Braxmeyer on the stop. Coming from his nose guard position. Olson gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Tom Braxmeyer.
You see Olson can't find any room that time. You see the feet moving all the time, though, but you're going to see a little bit of extracurricular activity going on here, and all of a sudden we got a 2-point takedown there, and that's not yet time of the season, is it?
Braxmeyer would have to move up around the hips to get the official too. Jake would be proud.
I was just going to say, I have to get your buddy Jake Llewellyn here to confirm that one.
Here's Olson back to Kuiper on the reverse. Breaks a couple tackles. A penalty flag flies out of there. Kuiper gets to midfield, and we'll have to wait and see who the marker goes against.
More than likely going to be some type of illegal block.
A block in the back against the Trojans. The Vikings will take it.
There's a flag on the play.
You can see that once again they're trying to inside reverse, and you're going to see that situation there where you have number 81 come in there and missed the assignment and has to make up for it, and it doesn't work.
They move the ball all the way back to the 36-yard line of Parkland, which brings up a 2nd down and 20. They offset Atia and Olson behind Sirfas. And here's Sirfas to throw, looking in the flat for Rosner. That's complete. He'll get just over the original line of scrimmage.
You can see a quick 3-step drop by Sirfas. Rosner out there gets a couple yards back, but they're still going to be very short of the first down. 3rd and 8.
Key 3rd down here for this Viking defense. With the help of a penalty, they'd like to stop Parkland here. They gave up the first drive of the ball game for a touchdown, and since then have been very stingy against this offense. Atia is the lone back behind Sirfas, and he's going to throw one more time. Flushed with some room to run, and he's going to come up just a little bit short. Fashing, number 55, was one of the players to make the first hit, and they're going to bring him up a little bit short of that first down. McCambridge, number 4, came up to help as well.
Well, you're going to see also, with Fashing, we talked about this in the beginning when we have these guys against Bethlehem Catholic, Doug, is they gave a good effort up front, but what impresses me is now look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green jerseys on the stop.
So McCambridge will drop back to return the punt. He'll stand at his own 10-yard line. Good protection one more time. McCambridge lets it bounce, and it's going to go just inside that pylon for a touchback. Nice punt by Adam Donchez, but just a little bit too strong. So the Vikings will start from their own 20-yard line. They're hanging in there, down just 7-0, 4:30 to go. The defense is playing well since giving up really that one big play.
Score from Boston, New York Yankees 4, Boston Red Sox 3.
First and 10 for the Vikings from their 20. Here is Ryan Bookery, 45 on the quick hitter. He'll get a couple up to the 22-yard line.
As you see Coach Roberts there on the sideline. Doug, this is starting to remind me a little bit of that game we did earlier in the year where I think at halftime, Coach Roberts is probably going to address that offensive line and say, you know, we better start stepping up here a notch or two, because if not, we're going to be in for a long second half. And that's what happened in that game we did the last time with them. And they did step it up in that second half and made a much better game out of it when they came out fired up in the second half.
Booker gets a couple. Here is Hinkle on a roll to the right, looking to throw again, and I believe that is complete, and it was to Sam Martucci for a first down, up to about the 37-yard line. Martucci out of the lineup last week against Whitehall, back in, and they're glad to have him back.
It's, you know, the situation is when you give Hinkle time, he really finds his receivers very, very well. If he gets a chance to set up, he's an excellent quarterback. He's even very good on the run at times. But a couple times there in that first quarter, he wasn't setting his feet. But lately, he's been setting his feet and doing a good job.
Quick hitter on first down. Maybe a gain of a couple up to the 39-yard line. This was Bookery one more time.
Number 45, Ryan Bookery on Saturday.
Nice little mix-up of the inside run and some passing by the Viking offense. They bring Horton and Martucci to this near side. Martucci's in the slot on second down and 7. And they'll stop this one before they get a snap.
Well, they got caught in the wrong defensive formation there as Parkland was signaling for a timeout from the sidelines, it looked like, Doug. I think they didn't want to be caught in that situation that they were in there with the two wideouts.
That's exactly what happened. They got the timeout call. That's the first time we saw that formation tonight by Central Catholic. They used that an awfully lot against Downingtown West in their opener. Here's tonight's Kraus Dodge trivia question. When was the last time that Central Catholic defeated Parkland?
Central Catholic varsity.
That's tonight's Kraus Dodge trivia question. These teams obviously played an awful lot back when the East Penn Conference was around. It's interesting when these are one of the teams that did kind of keep that rivalry going. They haven't missed too many years. In fact, they haven't missed any since the breakup. But some of them, Whitehall last week against Central, that was had been their first meeting. So in fact, Whitehall played here last night against Deer. That's the first time they've been on this surface. Didn't play any of the Allentown schools last year here, at least. You know, this is what the conference was all about. Each week, games like this, you come into it maybe week 5 trailing by a couple games, but knowing that you're playing those teams ahead of you, whether it be in the division, the conference, or the district rankings, getting a chance to really set your own destiny for the postseason.
Well, what's really great, Doug, is on the central part of it is the fact that, you know, going against these 4A teams all year just gets you so tuned up for those 3A playoffs. And then if you can get yourself in there and in a good position, really set you up for a good run in the playoffs.
Here is McCambridge coming to the left. He'll get to the 40-yard line, a gain of maybe 1. Run down from behind by Adam Attia.
You see a nice block there on the outside, but just enough to get the situation where number 89, Jason Jones, is interrupted a little bit. But give credit to the Parkland secondary for coming up quick there and putting the stops on it.
3rd down and 6, so Hinkle sits in the shotgun. He'll roll to the right, looking downfield, pressured, and Hinkle will throw it into the ground. Travis Decker on the pressure, and they're going to call Josh Hinkle for intentional grounding.
Well, what happened there is Tyler McCambridge fell down on the pattern, and I don't know if we'll be able to see it on the screen, but he fell down on the pattern. And what happens is Hinkle's, that was going to be one of his primary receivers, so then he's in trouble, and then he tries to get out of the way and ends up with an intentional grounding penalty.
They might have picked that flag up. Now, because that's a loss of down. If you're Parkland, you're going to accept that penalty. You know, he was outside the hash marks. If they picked that flag up or not, whatever it was, it's back to 4th and 6, and the Trojans once again, not to be denied, they stop the Vikings. Olsen standing at his own 27. Nice tail dragger for Olsen to take at the 24. Breaks 1 tackle, gets up to about the 27. McFadden down there along with Seawitz for the Vikes. 2:17 to go before the half. The Trojans lead 7-0. We'll see what this offense elects to do with a lead.
Interesting to see what happens defensively. Doug, Central been doing a pretty good job, as you said, of containing Olson now here in the second quarter. Done a nice job of concentrating on those inside reverses and doing a good job up front.
Play action, shovel pass. This going to Kuiper. Complete, and he'll get close to a Trojan first down, up to the 42.
You know what's interesting about the Parkland offense now? It's kind of a somewhat of a low-key trickery, though. I mean, it's not, it's not like a basic, we're going to pound it at you sometimes, but, they're doing their tricks, they're doing their, bag of tricks that Coach Milowski has, but it's not like wide open. But the situation is getting a lot of yardage, which is getting the job done.
Well, that's really no different than the reverse. They just passed it, and here's Olson on a draw on 2nd down and 1. Mark Fogarty comes up and meets him. Olson's going to be close to a first down. They may need to bring in the chains. No, they gave him the first down. Fogarty and Melly, the two corners and safeties, along with Christie, busy tonight.
Well, they've been getting that big rush and getting those guys caught in the lanes inside. So now they went to the draw, and a good job by Olson once again, as that offensive line has done a tremendous job of opening up those holes. And that's the thing, that this guy has been the recipient of a lot of good blocking, and he'll be the first person to admit it.
Parkland takes their second timeout with 1:34 to go in the second quarter. And Olson's first play from scrimmage set up the first Trojan drive. Take a look at our Kraus Dodge trivia question tonight. When was the last time that Central Catholic defeated Parkland? Jim, when was that?
Without cheating, not too long ago, Doug.
It wasn't too long ago. You are correct. We'll take a look. It was way back in 2000, week number 2. Central won 21-7, and you see Billy O'Boyle scored 2 touchdowns to ice it for the Vikings, and he ran for 82 yards. Now, in that year, Parkland lost to Easton in the district semis. That was Bill Denofa coaching Central Catholic.
I was just going to say, who was the coach in that? Was Billy Denofa.
And they made it to the Eastern Conference playoffs that year, did Central Catholic.
Billy Denofa, now a member of Tim Montsman's staff at Liberty, continuing his coaching career, doing a fine job.
First down, play action. Searfoss, here comes McFadden. He'll dump it off complete to Olson. And they're going to get a block in the back in the open field on Parkland. So this is all going to come back. Would have been good enough for a first down, but they got the block in the back on the screen pass.
You're going to see some excellent camera work as Searfoss gets that ball off. And you see Olson take up field, tucks it in. We're going to see a better angle of it here as we get the excellent TV2 camera work. You're going to see it coming in right about there. Okay. And
right.
It comes back.
Yeah, right in front of the officials. And when you see a lot of green and arms flailing like that, it tends to be a block in the back. So the completion to Olson is negated by a penalty, and that has kind of bothered Parkland here in this first half. We've seen a lot of penalties. They started the game with one on a kickoff return. So they'll move it back. The line of scrimmage is going to be the Trojan 28. This may change the complexion of this offense now with 1:23 to go before the half.
Well, I was going to say, Doug, the situation, when we talked to Coach Milowski before the game, and he said he'd like to have a turnover-free game, I think he would throw the penalty part in with the turnovers as well, because, in some cases, when you're really driving and doing a good job, those penalties are just as bad as turnovers.
First down, Searfoss to throw, looking for Rosner on a little out. There is McCambridge, quick to make the stop. He'll get up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 6. Hurry up offense by the Trojans. They have just one timeout remaining. We're at the minute mark in the second quarter. Searfoss from the shotgun is going to keep it on the draw. Here comes McCambridge to meet him. Searfoss breaks a tackle. He's run out of bounds at the 45 by Scott Christie, about 4 yards short of a first down. But maybe more importantly, he stopped the clock.
You're going to see a good job there on the corner as Searfoss breaks out as good pressure inside by number 53. That would be Tommy Braxmeyer. And you see outside there that one hand holds on as number 83 finishes the job.
Yeah,
Kyle Edwards.
That was Kyle Edwards on the stop, not Scott Christie. Nice job by Edwards. 3rd down and 4. They spotted at the 45. Here is Sirfas to throw. Here comes Fashing and Eretz. They're going to flush him out of the pocket. He throws a dangerous pass over the middle. Incomplete. Just McFadden there for Central Catholic.
Well, the thing that you're going to be impressed with here is look at the speed of the Central players coming across the field. That's the kind of thing that made that play happen, because you know, they were really trailing coming across that field. And you can see number 35, as we talked about in the beginning, Jason Erowitz makes himself very visible coming across that field and did a nice job of really coming after Sirfas.
No, that's why that pass was dangerous. Erowitz got a piece of it and knocked it free. So Adam Donchez back to punt, standing at his own 31. McCambridge at his own 23. Parkland splits out Kuiper and Kuiper, 24 and 30. Another nice punt by Donchez. This is going to go over McCambridge's head. Can they down it? No. They brought it in. The momentum carried it into the end zone. Ryan Kuiper down there on the coverage tried, but just couldn't keep it out.
That's one of the things on a turf like this, that you're going to get that big bounce most of the time, Doug. Not a lot of, you know, some fields that have been soaked the past couple days, you know, with the difference in the weather, you might have got a little bit of a dump there. The ball might have stayed in a position, as we see one of the Central Catholic players down.
Well, Central has 36 seconds to work with here in the 2nd quarter.
This was not an out on the field.
The Vikings will play here next weekend against the Allen Canaries. Parkland will host Deerhoff. Take a look at tonight's sponsors for tonight's ball game on TV2. Yakos, Kleckner & Sons Appliance, Kraus Dodge, Lanta, and R&J Carpet Connection. We'd like to thank those fine sponsors for bringing us high school football this year on TV2 Sports. 7-0 Parkland with 36 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Their first drive, they scored, went the distance, 7 plays. Since then, both defenses pitching a shutout. Matt Melly, the injured player, he is up and walking off for the Vikings. Melly, a key part of this defense tonight. Melly playing that safety position. So let's see what the Vikings do with 36 seconds and all 3 of their timeouts. 3 receivers, 2 to this near side is McCambridge and Martucci. Horton to the top of your screen. And here is Hinkle to throw, looking for McCambridge on an out. A dangerous pass goes incomplete. Brendan Gallagher on the coverage, number 49.
Well, you're right, Doug. And the last 2 plays have been very dangerous, between Sirfas getting tackled on the way down when that ball is released, and that one right there, throwing that position. You know, Gallagher has one more step. You're looking at a problem situation.
2nd down and 20. Hinkle back under center. He'll hand off to McCambridge, trying to bounce it outside. There is Granlin again on the stop. And now Parkland's going to take a timeout, their last one. Why not? Inside the 20. When we talked to Donnie Roberts before the game, he said our offense, you know, we're a nickel and dime type offense, our passing game, which means a lot of underneath stuff. And that is something that Josh Hinkle and these receivers are coming around to, but he doesn't feel that they have that deep ball. He said they like to use the nickel and dime to set up the deep ball, and you're seeing that here with just 36 seconds. They're not going to put it down the field, go deep vertical. They're going to try to get it underneath and just pick it down the field.
Exactly. And I think one of the other things that they don't have that huge of an offensive line that gave that protection time to Hinkle to throw that big bomb down the field as well, because it's not like Hinkle can't throw that ball down the field. But the thing of it is, with the people they have and the speed that they have, and going vertical instead of lateral is a little bit more of an advantage for them, and that's what they try to do.
26 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. And a 3rd down and 11 for the Vikings and Josh Hinkle. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Actually, they have all 3 of theirs. They haven't used any yet. Well, Hinkle's going to bring 3 receivers to the near side. Martucci's in the middle. Horton is the deep receiver, bottom of your screen. And they run the draw. This is Bookery right up the gut over the 25 to the 26. Just trying to spread out the defense, and they're content with just running up the middle. And Parkland, with no timeouts left, cannot stop the clock. So this could be the last play of the half.
4th and 4 for Central.
And they will let the clock run, and it will. Good first half here from J. Bernie Crump Stadium. The Trojans lead the Vikings 7-0 back with our halftime show right after this on TV2 Sports. Welcome back to the Lehigh Valley Suzuki halftime show. You see the score. Trojans lead 7-0. Take a look at some highlights here. This really got things going. First play from scrimmage.
Well, you're going to see that great block by the offensive line. It opens up that huge hole, and Eddie Olson got him off to the races there early. Thankfully, Matt Melly got a hold of him there, or that would have been a touchdown on that play right away.
Here's your lone touchdown of the night from 4 yards out for Olson.
See, good job once again, as we talked about. Look at that leg strength on Eddie Olson. Just takes the situation, number 23 of Scott Christie, and just runs right into the end zone with him.
Here's one of the many reverses. This run by Kuiper.
Seen that play many, many times, as you stated. It looks like Kuiper had a little bit of a injury, maybe a little cramp there at the end, too.
So there's our R&J Carpet Connection halftime numbers.
You're going to see that rushing yards, a big, big differential, 130 for Parkland and 19 for Central. They thought they'd probably have a little bit more than that coming in here at halftime. Passing, not too much of a surprise. Central probably thought they'd be a little bit better than that, 2 for 7 and 58 yards. But in total yards, 158 for Parkland and 77 for Central. And fumbles, Parkland lost 1 and Central played turnover free when it came to that in the first half.
Olson's run was for 62 yards. You want to say that's almost half of what we see there. But for the Vikings, I mean, again, those numbers, not that they're misleading. I mean, Parkland's really doing well offensively, but Central Catholic defensively, other than that long run, they've done a nice job of containing this Trojan offense, that's for sure. Donnie Roberts said earlier that he wanted to make these guys run around the corners, bounce them outside, and let his safeties and corners do the work. Parkland still has been successful, though, running between the tackles.
Oh, they have been in the situation. As you see the captains meeting out in the field out there right now for the second half. You know, the thing that impresses you about Central Catholic is the intensity of the defense, the amount of people that rush to the ball, the amount of people that get involved with the tackling concept. The Parkland thing impresses me most in the first half, once again, is they don't do a lot of fancy stuff. They get everybody in tight, and they run right at you and do a great job. Offensive line does a great, great job. Eddie Olson, obviously, the recipient of some great blocking. And then when you think that Eddie Olson's going to get the ball, he'll run a reverse. When you think that, Adam Matteo also gives him some good things from the inside.
You saw the captain's meeting, and the one without the pads was Brandon Rosenblatt. He expected to be back soon, and that'll be one of those things. You talked about Eddie Olson, about how do you get him out of the lineup. Rob Molosky very excited to have both of those players back in his arsenal, and both of them give you a little bit different look. You go back to the beginning of the season when somebody was trying to establish themselves as an offensive leader. Now you've got 2 players that can contribute for this team.
That's a great point, Doug, and then Rosenblatt will give him a lot of value when he gets back there. You know, he did a good job with punt returns and those kind of things when he was in there, and then you have another ace in your backfield that can't hurt you.
So Central Catholic will start things off here in the third quarter. They trail 7-0. They have really yet to threaten crossing the goal line. They've had a couple plays cross midfield, but penalties hurt that drive, so they're going to try to even things up with Parkland here as we start the third quarter.
Well, as we saw in the beginning of the game too, Doug, Central playing with a little heavy heart here tonight with a tragedy that happened late last night. Nick Caldarelli, a graduate in 2002, killed in a car crash. So I'm sure that that's a very heavy heart for a lot of Central players, and our condolences go out to the Caldarelli family.
Andrew Kohler tees it off for Parkland, and that'll be a touchback. So the Vikings will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Now, it'll be interesting to see, Doug, if the Vikings can do that nickel and dime thing that we were talking about. Coach Roberts said to you and I before the game, if they get more involved in that here in the second half, or if they try to go down the field a little bit farther. But I would tend to think that they're going to try to get that offensive line to block a little bit better and get themselves in that nickel and dime offense.
Here comes, that is Sam Martucci in motion, and is a pitch to Tyler McCambridge to the right side. Greg Granlund around the ankles of McCambridge. He gets almost 5 up to the 24.5. Nice run on first down. Central Catholic trying to establish that run.
And I'm sure he challenged them again at halftime to come out and give him his best effort from the offensive line standpoint. I know it's not easy, but you know, they're going against one of the most physical and toughest teams in the league. Obviously up front with one of probably the premier across the line defensive front in all of the league.
They give McCambridge 5, 2nd down and 5. Aritz and McCambridge in the backfield. Ryan Bookery goes in motion. Here is McCambridge on 2nd down. He noses forward to the 28. Should bring up a 3rd down and 2. Testing that left side of that defensive line.
Number 74, Morgan Thomas, checking into the Parkland lineup.
Bringing up a little bit more beef on that front line.
6'3", 305.
3rd down and a long one for Central Catholic. Bookery goes in motion again. They run that way to the right. And Aritz, or excuse me, McCambridge is hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get enough for a Central Catholic 1st down. A lot of good penetration. Nick Guida, one of the players for the Trojans, along with Granlund again. Good penetration by that defensive line.
Well, we talked about that. If you're going to strap it up and go head-on-head with them, you better be able to move them. And that time, once again, they showed the strength of Parkland, holding their own and forcing the Vikings to punt once again.
Shane Cashano, the punter, number 82, stands at his own 15-yard line. Olson and Atia back deep. Olson will take this one at his own 30. Crosses the 40, and he trots out of bounds at the 44. Jason Aritz down there on the coverage. Good field position for Parkland. Very impressive first series defensively for the Trojans.
Well, once again, you're going to look at, you know, there's Eddie Olson on that return, Doug. I mean, it's funny. You think about, you know, like he's been running for 4 years in that backfield, but the situation is a new guy on that punt return. He makes a nice move on the outside, gets himself to the outside, sees he's going to be tackled, just trots off to the sidelines. You know, if you're a guy that's just first and new in this business, you're going to try to work your way upfield and knock people over. Smart play again by Eddie Olson, just showing the ability he has.
Olson, the deep back behind Adam Atia, gets the call here up to the 45-yard line.
You gotta push him out. Use your damn leg.
Mark Fogarty, along with some others on the stop. Fogarty wearing 26.
You see Searfoss handing off once again as Eddie Olson with a quick hitter inside. Once again, we talked at the beginning of the game about how he follows those guys, and it's sometimes hard to see him come out of the backfield because of his stature behind some of those bigger linemen. And by the time he gets rolling, sometimes he's got a nice hole to go and to get some big gains out of it.
Testing the inside of that defensive line. Again, this is Olson on the carry on 2nd down. He gets maybe a yard, maybe the length of the football over the 45-yard line. So Parkland trying to bang it between the tackles on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
And once again, Doug, you're going to see, you know, it's no secret that they're going to try to come out and out-muscle them and just pound and wear on them for the second half, because they know they have a distinct advantage up front with a lot of beef in that offensive line. You know they're going to try to just keep pounding it at them.
The offset, Atia and Olson. Here is Searfoss being pressured. He's going to try to run for the 1st down. Little stiff arm, gets up to the 50. He's going to come up about 4 yards short of the sticks. Joe McFadden over there along with Jason Aritz on the stop.
Well, good job, as we talked about. That defense is very, very swarming. You're going to see they give him a good shot up and inside as number 25 comes up inside, but you're going to see the fact that they chase him to the outside and they get Searfoss and force the 4th down.
Good defensive series by the Vikings. Donchez standing at his own 36. McCambridge at his 10. Some pressure and nice play by Donchez to not have that one blocked. It's off the side of his foot, but he gets the punt off. Tim Ford with the pressure, and a good punt by Donchez on the run.
Smart play by Donchez, as you're going to see. Smart enough to keep his eyes up, knows where the pressure is coming. See, he took that little quick look. He knew that pressure was coming, took the quick step, got the punt off.
The 31-yard line, the line of scrimmage for Central Catholic. Their second possession of the second half. Aritz and McCambridge in the backfield along with Josh Hinkle under center. This is going to be a play action. Hinkle to throw, looking for McFadden, a little too high. Ryan Quilling on the coverage. Would have been good enough for a first down. They just missed that combination.
Joe McFadden, the intentioned receiver on that play. Hinkle, once again, with a play fake. Did a nice job of getting that ball out there, but just a little bit too high.
Second down and 10. Hinkle in the shotgun. McCambridge maybe going to get the option. He does. Chased there by Attia, and he trips him up. He falls forward to the 34. Good lateral pursuit by Adam Attia to make the stop.
Also, good job by Travis Decker out there. That, you know, you're going to see that chase to the corner is always impressive when you're going to see number 85 coming. You'll see number 85 bearing down here soon. McCambridge. You see now Travis Decker with the good angle, and then gets just a little bit of a hand out there, trip him up, and McCambridge goes down.
3 yards on that option run to McCambridge. Third down and 7. Here's Hinkle to throw. He's going to run the deep ball to Horton, who is covered well there by number 15. That is Heath Standorf. Good coverage, and they try to stretch the defense, but Parkland was up to it.
Good job by the defensive backfield of Parkland. No chance of that play being a success.
Trading punts. Here's Cashano again, standing at his own 20. Olsen at his own 34. Nice punt by Cashano, chasing Olsen back. He has a little trouble handling it. Takes it at the 24. Breaks a couple tackles, trying to find some room near side, and Melly slows him up finally at the 41-yard line. And Horton, along with Ray Rodriguez, making the stop for the Vikings special teams.
Hey, that guy gives you everything he's got, every play. Never takes a play off. Hey, as we've talked about many times, not very big in stature, but tremendous in heart, 5'7", 180. But boy, he gives you everything he's got all the time. Using that basketball skill ability here on the football field. Sees everything happen in front of him, does a great job using his feet.
Well, he gives you about a 15-yard return, which is not huge, but look at where your line of scrimmage is. It's the 41-yard line as opposed back to the 24 where he took it.
It's funny, Doug, I was talking to his dad last week at the basketball clinic, and he says everybody runs when everybody claps when they see him running. He says, I clap when I see him get up. He says, he says that's when I'm happiest.
Tying some shoes down on the field. That's why we paused briefly there for Central Catholic. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their 41. This is Steve Benavage on the pitch, giving Olsen a little bit of a break, and Benavage runs for 9 up to the 50-yard line.
Number 31, Steve Benavage on the carry, backed up by number 23, Scott Christie.
Give Olsen a breather, bring Benavage in, who spells him briefly. Gets 9 yards on first down. Rosner split out in the slot to the bottom of your screen on 2nd down and short, and they have trouble with the exchange. Penalty flags fly. And we're going to get a false start against the Trojans.
Well, it's the second time tonight we've had a problem with the exchange between center and quarterback. And you see the line flinches a little bit before that snap takes place.
I'll tell you what, Parkland is actually fortunate that happened, because Searfoss, he hit the pulling guard there that time, Lynn, in the hip with the ball. Had that play started clean, they might have had a fumble.
Yeah, there might have been more problems.
Here's a pitch near side. This is Benavage again. Breaks a tackle inside Viking territory. Gets a Parkland first down. Knocked out of bounds at the 46. Christie Melly over there for Central Catholic. Benavage is spelling Olsen, doing a good job.
Yep, you're going to see that's what they need. They can't force Olsen to run every single play all out because of playing defense as well. Bonavich is doing a good job of spelling them, as you see.
The Viking 46-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Parkland leading this ball game 7-0, 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Guida, the fullback, gets the play action. Bonavich on the option, and there is McFadden dragging him down inside Trojan territory back at their 49.
Well, one of the things that depresses you all the time, Doug, is the team speed of that defense for Central. Stringing it out right here. Bill McFadden stringing it out on the outside. You're going to see a lot of green jerseys stringing it out, shooting the gap. Melly shooting the gap in there, so he gives him inside pressure. McFadden with a nice tackle on the outside.
Tom Braxmeyer a little slow to get up for Central Catholic, number 53, the senior nose guard. And they bring in Seamus Eck, the sophomore, number 72. And there's an interesting story behind big number 72. The fact that he's just 14 years old playing varsity football.
And a great size at 6 foot 255. They feel a lot of great things are going to come out of Seamus Eck here in the future. Coach Donnie Roberts telling us before the game, you know, he's on the right path. He's doing a lot of good things. You know, they think he's got a very bright future here for the Vikings.
We had the injury to Braxmeyer. He's up and off the field. Bring up a second down for the Trojans. 15 yards to go. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go, third quarter. Parkland splits two receivers. They hand off to Guida on the quick hitter. He'll get inside Viking territory down to the 48-yard line. Eck is one of the players, along with McFadden down there at the bottom of that pile, and of course Bill Fashing, number 55. He's been all over the place defensively tonight.
Fashing 5'10", 180. Doesn't look like a big guy out there, but boy, I'll tell you, he gets himself involved in a lot of different plays, as you said, Doug, all over the field. Uses his side-to-side lateral speed as a very, very big attribute.
Attia and Olsen come back in. They got a little bit of a breather. Third down, 12 yards. Searfoss to throw with some pressure, and it's nearly intercepted. Scott Christie had it go through his hands. They were looking for Eric Rosner downfield. That was Kuiper they're looking for downfield. Incomplete.
A little trouble there from the start. Searfoss problem with his footing, and also throwing that in a position that could have been intercepted very, very easily.
Once again, the Viking defense holds, and Donchez will come back in and punt for Parkland. McCambridge inside his 15-yard line will stop right around the 10. Teams trading punts here in this third quarter. Kuiper and Kuiper split out wide for Parkland on fourth down. And depending on where they spot this, it could be just inside the 20. Donchez's punt going out of bounds at the 21.
Donchez's punt goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Donch has done an excellent job punting tonight. As we see Josh Hinkle re-entering the ball game here now, you got to get something started offensively. Coach Roberts, I'm sure, waiting for some big play to happen here. They got to get something to happen here as they split the two guys out to the left.
First and 10. Here's McCambridge. They're testing that left side of the Parkland defense, and it's not going to give. McCambridge is going to get a couple up to the 24. This is very similar to what Central Catholic did last week against Whitehall. They were very patient, but yet, you know, they had the 7-0 lead. Very patient. They were content running the dives between tackles, but that was with a lead. You're trailing here 7-0, and we'll see if they test these guys deep. They line up Martucci in the slot, Horton to the near side, bottom of your screen. Second down, and here is Hinkle to throw. He's going to dump it off to McCambridge in the flat at the 20, gets a block at the 30, tries to change direction, and he'll fall down to 33-yard line.
Good job by Horton on this play. You're going to see him make a great block. Number 1, David Horton, enables number 4, Tyler McCambridge, to make that swing on the outside. As you'll see here, it's a quick pass to the outside. Now you're going to see the block coming up from Horton here, right there. Number one, with the good block, it enables McCambridge to get upfield and get that first down.
The nickel and dime is working, at least for this series, for Central Catholic. The 33-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Martucci comes in motion near side. The pitch far side with Bookery in front goes to McCambridge. Travis Decker chases him down from behind, and McCambridge maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that time the defensive end stayed home and they couldn't get themselves, Central that is, could not get themselves on the outside and spring that one.
Second down and 11, the loss of 1 to McCambridge. Hinkle's going to send Horton to the right and Martucci to the left. Martucci goes in motion, far side. Hinkle back to throw again, looking underneath. It's complete for a short gain. This is going to go to Scott Christie. Nick Guida on the coverage, number 27. Now the short gain on second down is going to bring up a third down and about 9.
Well, that's a situation I'm sure they're not happy with being with a lot of times tonight, Doug, because of the fact that, you know, that Parkland defense being so tough, giving him so much physical presence and shooting those gaps with the linebackers a lot of the times, you know, it just gives Hinkle a lot of problems to deal with. Here they come again.
Shotgun. Hinkle's going to look for Horton, who was covered well. No penalties. He had both he and Martucci deep. The coaching staff for Central wanted a holding penalty going against Parkland and Ryan Kuiper, but they're not going to get it.
Well, we're going to get a look here coming up the side. As you see, Hinkle gives the pump fake and then lets it fly. I guess the official said that he just had his hand on him and he wasn't holding, so we're going to see the Vikings back in punt formation once again.
Cashano again. Plenty of time, gets another nice tail dragger. Olsen's going to call for that fair catch at the 26. Ray Rodriguez down there to make sure Olsen doesn't go anywhere. Back and forth, they're trading punts, 2:10 to go.
You see a little bit of a problem with the snap there, but ends up being pushed into the punter as Parkland takes over.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their 26. Neither one of these teams, you know, I don't want to say it's conservative offenses. Both of these defenses playing very well tonight. Teams content just trying to take some stuff underneath, and it just, nobody's been, other than the 62-yard run, nobody has broken off much of anything.
Well, it's like both teams are afraid to go out on that edge, Doug, and they're just playing close to the vest and doing a nice job on the inside runs and, you know, not really going all out on different things and being content to let their defense play very well.
There's Olsen again on 1st down. Fashing will make the stop, but about 8 yards on 1st down for Ed Olsen. Parkland's been very effective running on 1st down. Now, they had the same situation in the previous series, but a penalty put them back in a 2nd and long and took them right out of their momentum. And here we go with a 2nd and 2. Attia and Olsen offset. Here's Adam Attia. He's going to get the 1st down and more over the 40-yard line. Christie is around Attia's ankles. He's going to get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, now coming back with a dose of Attia, as you see a good job on the inside. You see Jones do a nice job at the block inside, and good job by Attia up through the middle.
1 minute, 20 seconds to go. The clock is running in the 3rd quarter. The Trojans clinging to a 7-0 lead. Searfoss on the keeper to the near side, tries to make a move on Horton, and he'll get down to the 43-yard line, maybe the 42 of the Vikings. Another Parkland 1st down. Nice run by Phil Searfoss.
Well, once again, to get that opposite field direction going. Good job of getting himself up the sidelines, moving the chains. Once again, nice little drive here for Parkland.
And they put themselves in excellent field position, and they, with this lead, can run the ball and chew away this clock. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's Olsen behind Attia. Scott Christie makes a nice play. Olsen's going to get inside the 40 down to the 39.
See Eddie Olson once again coming out of that backfield. Good blocking inside, but good penetration this time by Scott Christie.
Olson gets 3. 2nd down and 7. Parkland back with that 2 tight end formation. They've been running a lot tonight. Here's Atia with a seam on the left. And they cannot bring the big guy down. He gets inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Another nice run by Adam Atia. And that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We end the 3rd the way we started. 7-0 Parkland. Back with the 4th quarter right after this. Welcome back to J. Bernie Crum Stadium. There is your score. It has not changed since actually the end of the 1st quarter. 7-0 Trojans. And they're moving the football right now, trying to chew away this clock, hold on to this lead, and maybe put some more points on the board. Both defenses have been very stingy. Both offenses have been somewhat conservative, but really playing into their strength, trying to run between the tackles. And Parkland has been sitting on this 7-0 lead since the first possession of the ball game. They face now a 3rd down and 3, which becomes a very big 3rd down conversion for both teams. Phil Serfas under center. He's got Atia and Olson behind him as they offset to the left. Here is Atia. He's got a lot of room. Bounces it outside to the right. Horton meets him. Atia stutter steps a tackler. He'll get down to the 26. Another Trojan 1st down. Scott Christie over there to make the stop for the Vikings.
Well, one of the first times all night they sent the fullback outside, and Atia, with the speed he has, got himself a good couple of yards out there and the 1st down for the Parkland Trojans.
Donnie Roberts talked about wanting to bounce these backs outside, but that time Atia with too much steam behind him. The Trojans another 1st down, the line of scrimmage, the Viking 27. Play action, Serfas is going to keep it on the roll. Eritz chasing from behind. He'll make the stop down to the 23-yard line. McCambridge came up to help out as well, and we're going to have an injury timeout.
See, once again, the fake to Olson, and we're going to go the opposite direction. And number 35 just running him down, Jason Eritz.
We have a stoppage of the clock for an injured Central Catholic player. I'd like to once again thank our sponsors of tonight's ball game: Yakos, Kleckner and Sons Appliance, Kraus Dodge, Lanta, and of course R&J Carpet Connection. Thank those sponsors for not only tonight but for all season long, bringing you high school football on TV2 Sports. Doug Heater along with Jim Wills tonight. Lehigh Valley Conference Lehigh Division action on a Saturday night from J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Both of these teams trying to stay undefeated in this division. And for Parkland, I talked about it earlier, they are currently sitting 4th in the district standings. With a win tonight, they would pass Emmaus for the 3rd spot. Central Catholic with a win would comfortably stay ahead of Saucon Valley. With a loss, they're going to hang right in there between those two teams. And you take a look, yep, we got ourselves a full moon tonight.
Excellent night for football. Weather tremendous. Nice crowd here. Homecoming. Got some great examples of some fine defensive football and some excellent play calling by both sides.
2nd down and 5. Atia getting 5 on that run, and here is Olson on a little counter, and he'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That is Kyle Edwards and Fashing making the stop. Central trying to stop this running attack for Parkland. Got to keep them off the scoreboard. They trail 7-0.
I'll tell you, Doug, in all the games we did all year, I don't know about you, but I mean, it's a fact that I just appreciate the way Central goes to the football. I mean, you know, when you look on the Parkland side, they got some physical tools and they got some big guys up front, and they do a great job. But when you look at Central and you look at the people that they have doing things with what they're doing them with, and getting themselves in positions to stop teams, it's a big credit to that defensive staff.
Here is Kuiper on that reverse, and that spreads the defense enough that Kuiper can get another Parkland 1st down to the 14-yard line. Seawitz Melly on the stop along with Fashing once again.
You see this time big number 77, I should say. Matt Saraceno comes out on the pull there that time and opens up a big hole and gets another 1st down for the Trojans.
A very hard-fought drive for Parkland here, trying to put this one away. I formation. Here's Olson behind Adam Attia. He'll get inside the 10, down to the 9. Dave Horton comes up to make the stop.
Well, once again, you see some great blocks on that side of the line. You see Attia, a good block as he pushes through, and we talked about that the whole game. Key to the success of that when you get through the line is to have that fullback in front of you with the good blocking.
The clock becoming a factor too for Central. Parkland must be kept out of the end zone if the Vikings want to stay in this ball game. 2nd down and 4. Here is Olson again, testing the right. Horton will wrap him up, but it looks like it could be enough for another Trojan 1st down. Olson falls inside the 5, down to the 4. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Trojans.
First and goal for Parkland.
Now, it's been a good drive for Parkland. As we said, staying close to the vest, though, not really doing anything fancy, but just pounding that ball up and inside, giving it to Olson, giving it to Attia. Good job by that offensive line once again.
Olson now 109 yards. Here's Attia, and he'll get in for a Parkland touchdown. From 4 yards out, Adam Attia makes it 13-0 Trojans. Just too much beef up front on this drive. I don't believe they threw a pass at all once they took this ball over after the Central Catholic punt.
You're right, Doug. Just going to see a couple different looks at it here. Once again, you're going to see some great blocks. You see people even looking for people to block, as number 77, Matty Sarancino, was looking for somebody there. But you see those good things on the inside once that hole opens up. Tough keeping Eddie Olson out of there.
Brad Wallace adds the 14th Parkland point of the night. And with 9:07 to go in the 4th quarter, the Trojans in front, 14-0. And Central Catholic, which has not threatened much tonight, have not been inside the 20-yard line, needs to get something going offensively. If they go back to the nickel and dime that Donnie Roberts likes to call it, against Downingtown West in the opener, they had a bunch of chances with 8 minutes to go to come back, and they did it. There's your scoring drive. 12 plays, 68 yards, Attia from 4 yards out. A long, methodical, time-consuming drive by Parkland.
I want to correct myself. I said that was Olson on a touchdown. It was Attia.
And they took 5 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. End of the 3rd, into the 4th.
Great job by the offensive line, opening up those holes.
Andrew Kohler does the kicking or the kickoff duties for Parkland. And McCambridge standing at his 2. Much shorter this time. McCambridge is going to be taken there by Christie at the 15. Over the 25, trying to find an alleyway. It'll get up to the 30-yard line. Good field position for Central Catholic.
Well, Doug, if there's anybody who can bring him back, it's Josh Hinkle, number 8. He is the best when it comes to those comebacks. And you said against Downingtown, and we saw in the second half against Becca, did a nice job of bringing the team back. He's got about 9 minutes here, as you said, to bring him back. But that Parkland defense is awfully tough.
31-yard line is the line of scrimmage, 9:01. Horton comes to the near side, split out wide. That is Rodriguez in motion.
Flag on the play,
Flag is
Doug.
down, complete to Horton at the 30. He's going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. This is probably going to go against the Vikings. Yeah, it's an illegal shift. They had 2 guys in motion at the same time.
Oh, he's trying to get that ball outside to Horton. Gets it outside, but the penalty is going to come back and negate everything.
Talked about Horton leading the team with 35 catches coming in. The Trojans declined the penalty, so they'll take the play, which was a loss of a couple. Actually got back to the line of scrimmage, so it brings up a 2nd and 10. They don't want to give Hinkle in this offense an extra play. The clock will start again. Horton now goes to the right of the offense, top of your screen, and Rodriguez, Manny Rodriguez, to the bottom, wearing number 22. Hinkle in the shotgun, that is Christie to his left. Christie's going to get the draw. Nowhere to go to the 31-yard line. Adam Attia in there making the initial hit. Granlund, another player, number 54, we've talked an awful lot about tonight, all over the place.
Granlund, really a tough player, 5'11", 215. As you said, Doug, we've said his name many times tonight. He centers and anchors that defensive line and does a great job for Coach Miloski.
Hinkle in the shotgun on 3rd down and 10. He's going to put it up this time. Rolling out. Jones in pursuit, looking for Rodriguez, and it's complete. No, it isn't. Incomplete. Out of his hands. Would have been good enough for a Central Catholic first down. Just a little bit too far.
You're going to see that roll to the left. It's an awfully tough pass to make, but Hinkle does a good job of getting that ball back and does a nice job of getting a spiral out there. Rodriguez just can't hang on.
So 3 and out for the Vikings. Deshano back one more time. Olsen now all by himself, standing at his 36. Deshano does a nice job to get that low snap down. And Olsen fair catches it at his 42. Good job by the Trojan defense. A quick 3 and out. They got it back.
Well, a little bit of a trouble on that snap once again. Getting awfully close to getting on that football was number 49, Brendan Gallagher.
And we have a new quarterback coming in for Parkland. This is Greg Hager, the junior, number 7.
Hager has seen extensive action this year when we've done a couple of the Parkland games, Doug.
Here is Olsen on 1st down. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Mark Fogarty makes the initial hit.
Hager, a 6'1" junior. Came in a couple times this year to spell Phil Surfoss and done a nice job. As you see, Coach Miloski sending a play in with him right now.
No gain on 1st down, 2nd down and 10. Now the clock also going against Central Catholic. They need quick stops to get that offense back on the field. Quick hitter to Attia. He'll get over the 45 up to the 46-yard line, gain of about 4. Just continuing to pound it between the tackles is this Trojan offense.
Well, as we talked about, Doug, nothing really fancy, but boy, they get the job done. Efficiency would be the word I would use. Very, very efficient. Workmanlike. Do a good job of getting themselves in good position. And I'll tell you what, that tandem right there has been the benefit of a lot of good holes, and they'll be the first to tell you that.
Here is Kuiper on that reverse. Fashing misses him. McFadden will finally get him. Short of a first down at the 48. Christie also helping out. So the Viking defense does its job, 3 and out, and trying to get the offense back on the field and put some points on the board for this Viking team.
Need 2 on the play, moving to 4th down.
Donchez standing at his own 35. McCambridge at his 11. Parkland taking their time. They'll get this punt off with 6 minutes to go. Little bit of pressure, and McCambridge takes the line drive at his 20. Slowed up and will get up to the 29. Good coverage one more time by the Trojans. Ryan Kuiper in there. You know, Jim, one of the fears for the coaches around the LVC was the threat of East Stroudsburg South from the Mountain Valley Conference. Right now, they are 2nd with a 6-1 record in this District 11 4A rankings. They have Pleasant Valley, Pottsville, and East Stroudsburg North coming up. A combined 5 wins between those 3 teams. That is going to be the fear that this team could qualify and could go 9-1. Here is Hinkle to throw,
and he's right. I'm sorry, Doug, you're right that that's a big fear of most of the team. You know, and when you look back in the beginning of the season, that win that they had over Parkland just looms very, very large.
And actually, their only loss was to Deeriff in the opener. And this team could be sitting at 10-0. Easton right now is currently #1 in those standings, and they're about 4 points ahead of East Stroudsburg. Emmaus will move to the 4 spot if Parkland holds on and wins tonight. Freedom, with their loss, drops to #5. Northampton is a 1.5 behind them at #6. And right now, those 6 teams, along with a couple at 4 and 3, Liberty and Pocono Mountain East, still fighting for a playoff spot. This pass was intended for Martucci, goes incomplete on 2nd down.
And what could happen there, Doug, is you're going to look at the situation where the teams like Freedom, Emmaus, Easton, Park, they're all battling each other down the stretch with games against each other. So that's going to make a big, big factor there down the stretch with those 3 weeks.
Easton has Northampton this week. They'll have Liberty and then Becca. But there's your current up-to-date points. And you see where Parkland sits. They would move ahead. They would end up with 670 points with this win tonight. Losing only the 20 bonus points because Central is 3. They get only 80 with the win, but they will move up to #3. 3rd down, the pass is incomplete by Hinkle. Now, even with the loss, Central Catholic still looking in good position with Saucon Valley. The 2 reps, or at least 2 reps, for District 11 and 3A. Central Catholic has Allen, Deerhoff, and Emmaus coming up, where Parkland has Deerhoff, Emmaus, and Whitehall on their schedule.
It'll be very interesting how everything plays out here in the next 3 weeks. Very, very equal in the district as far as a lot of teams this year. That's why it's very tough to figure out who's going to be in what spot by the end of the year.
Olson takes it on a hop at his 35. Returns it 10 yards up to the 45-yard line, and Parkland looking to run out the clock here with 4:51 to go.
Once again, Central evades the block punt. Getting closer and closer every time. Once again, number 49, Brendan Gallagher, on that play. Doug, I'll tell you what's going to be good too is the Eastern Conference playoffs this year will be excellent because of the fact that a lot of teams that were very, very much in the hunt right up until the last week will not be eligible for District 11 play, and their Eastern Conference is gaining a lot of tough teams more and more each year.
Well, the championship was here last year. Deerhoff beating Allen in that. Here's Olson on, or that is Benavage on 1st down. That is, he is hit by Nick Woodsick, number 88, making the stop.
There's one of the best hits of the night by Nick Woodsick. This is what you want to do. You want to get inside. You want to get inside leverage, and you want to make sure you knock them off their feet. And that was a great job by Nick Woodsick.
When you talk about that, I mean, Pocono Mountain East, who is 4 and 3, is another team that could benefit from that schedule. Blue Mountain, Pleasant Valley, and Pocono Mountain West combined 6 wins between those 3. They could finish the year at 7 and 3. They also have an outside shot at not only the Eastern Conference but a district berth. Here's Benavage again on 2nd down. A penalty flag flies. Fashing's over there along with Horton.
Well, you talk about Pocono Mountain again. A good job by Dan Catino this year. Excellent coaching job up there by Dan Catino, former assistant at Pius 10th on the Frank Scagliotti staff.
This brings you back to the mid-90s when East Stroudsburg and Stroudsburg would get in there, not playing anybody from down here. But I know, Tony Coco, when he coached at Whitehall, used to always say that he would rather play a tougher schedule. He felt that they were more calloused, more prepared for the postseason. When he ran the table in '98, when they were 10-0, they had a phenomenal schedule, and ended up getting beaten in the district finals. But he said he felt his team was much more prepared when it came to the postseason than a team that might have had a little bit softer schedule.
That's right, and what you're going to see in that situation, especially now in the 4A classification, when you go 1 through 4, it's not going to be that the #1 team is really going to have that much of an advantage this year as compared to, say, for example, last year when that 1 and 2 slot was just really big and really loomed tough.
Freedom is a team that's lost a couple in a row, but they can fight their way back. They have in front of them Becca, Nazareth, and Liberty. Obviously, and I tell you, that game at the end of the year against Liberty, that Halloween weekend, is going to be some good football in this conference. That is for sure. 4 minutes to go here in this ball game. Parkland comfortably in front, 14-0. First drive of the game, they went 7 plays. Eddie Olson scored from 4 yards out, and then they went through 2 quarters, part of the third, part of the fourth, to go 12 plays to put this 14-0 advantage on the scoreboard. And you used the word efficient before. That's a good way to put this whole night on both sides of the ball for Parkland.
You know, they've played within themselves, and I think that's what Coach Milosky and his staff have done an excellent job with this year, of making them play within themselves, not going out too far, you know, playing a lot of tight formations, getting themselves in positions to win all the time.
Well, Hager's pass was intended for Jason Jones or Travis Decker, take your pick, and it was nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of Central Catholic.
You can see number 11, Matt Melly, the safety back here, had a good shot, that interception, but in his defense, falling backwards, always a tough thing to catch that ball when you're falling backwards.
So Adam Donchez will come in and punt one more time. McCambridge is going to stand at his own 20. Central with 10 up on the line. Now they break out a little bit. Trying to bring some pressure on Donchez, who's taking his time. McCambridge on the run, and he's going to fumble it. Does he get it back? I believe he did. Down there on the coverage was Brandon Kuiper for Parkland, but McCambridge got it back at his own 32. I think Central only crossed midfield one time tonight, and then they were moved back on a penalty.
You know, that's the thing, and you see the weapons that they have and the receivers that they have. Both Horton and Martucci, with a lot of catches between them in about 600 or 700 yards this year, have not been able to penetrate that Parkland defense as well as they have in the past couple weeks.
The Vikings trying to get on the board. Hinkle in the shotgun, see what he's got left. Flushed out of the pocket, a lot of room to run, and that changes quickly. He's going to lose a couple back to the 30-yard line. I believe that was Gallagher on that stop. It was Brendan Gallagher. Hinkle in the hurry up in the shotgun one more time. 2nd down and 12. He's going to roll near side. Looking complete underneath to Horton at the 41, a couple yards short of a first down, but a positive pickup for Central Catholic. Hinkle's going to bring a play in from the sideline. Looked like a little bit of confusion there. He's going to go back under center on a 3rd down and 1. Under 3 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter. Quick hitter Horton's going to take it at the 40. He's got some room, spins inside midfield, and the clock continues to run after they reset the sticks. Nice completion to Horton for a Viking first down. Guida over there on the stop.
Good job by Hinkle and the offense of getting that play out there, getting ready. He's calling those plays off his wrist right now. Going from the shotgun formation with number 35 in the backfield with him, Jason Eritz.
Rodriguez comes in motion near side, runs a little out and go, and that's where he's looking. He's going to go to McFadden, in and out of his hands over the middle. Incomplete. Kuiper on the coverage for Parkland's defense.
Josh Hinkle has had some people open here tonight, Doug, and just not one of his better nights this year. That time, once again, number 90, Joe McFadden, was open over the middle.
2:35 to go, 4th quarter. The Vikings trail 14-0. They have a 2nd down and 10 from the Parkland 48. 3 receivers come near side. Hinkle looking that way. Now he's chased out of the pocket, and Travis Decker is going to get a sack back at the Viking 45. And the Vikings are going to be forced to call a timeout. It leaves them with 1.
Well, you're going to see a sight that was very, very well seen last year was that Travis Decker on a sack, as you said, number 85, 6'3", 230 pounds senior. Did a good job along that stretch run to the state championship last year. Got better week after week after week, similar to what this whole Parkland team is doing this year, getting better week after week after week. Doing it a different way, though, Doug. Not doing it with fancy running, not doing it with any kind of trick plays, but just doing it straight, close to the vest, between the tackles, pounding it out.
Well, you can call it conservative, but you know, when you're Rob Milosky and you have a defense that plays as well as these guys have over the last, this is the 4th straight week that they're looking for a win. You don't really have to do anything too exciting because you know your defense is that solid.
Yep, and they get the job done. And, you know, offensively, you only need to score one more point than the opposition if you got a defense like he does. And they've done a real good job of getting themselves in position and playing within themselves. I think that's probably another statement that's so true of them. And that's a great attribute to the coaching staff. They did a good job of doing that the past couple weeks.
On a third down, Parkland just rushing 3 defenders on that line. Martucci is going to take it complete. But he's going to come up about a yard short of the first down to the 39. Going to bring up a 4th and 1.
Good job of getting that ball in there by Hinkle, but just a little bit short of the first down.
Not a generous spot for Central Catholic, so we're going to have a 4th down, and the Trojans are going to take a timeout. That is their first used. .204 to go, a little bit of life left, and the Vikings trying to get on the scoreboard. Central back here next Friday against Allen, who had a big win last night over Emmaus, which shook up the district rankings a little bit. Parkland hosts Deerhoff next Friday.
Yeah, that would be it.
Take a look at Rob Milosky, whose team will now move to 5-2. If they can hold on here with the win. Fourth down and 1 from the 39 of the Trojans. That's what's in front of Central Catholic. McCambridge, Martucci, and Horton, your 3 receivers to the near side. Horton is going to get it to 40. He's going to get a first down to the 34. They'll move the chains again. Atia and Guida on the stop for Parkland.
Well, they've done a nice job tonight of getting that ball out there quickly on that screen out to the side, and that once again that gives them a first down here, and they still have their hopes alive here with a few minutes remaining.
Hinkle looking for Martucci, who makes a great catch inside the 20 down to the 18, catching it as he's falling down. Guida on the stop.
Well, Doug, you know, this is where Hinkle shines in this situation. Threading the needle once again, put it right in front of one of the Parkland defenders there as Guido tried to make a good chance of an interception. And Hinkle just threaded it once again.
Here's a pass complete to Horton again, close to another first down inside the 10. They'll stop the clocks for a measurement, mark a first down, and Central's going to have first and goal at the 8. Hinkle running the hurry up. McCambridge, Martucci, and Horton to the near side. The lone back is Aritz. Here's Hinkle on a roll to the right. Looking in the end zone, Decker pressures, and there's a touchdown. It's going to go
to Joe McFadden.
To McFadden, the tight end, one of the receivers we did not mention in before that play.
Good job by Hinkle of throwing back across the field. Very good vision by Hinkle that time. He was rolling right, came back, spotted McFadden over in the left side of the end zone, and hits him with a great pass.
An important extra point. Pete Lang will come in. Mark Braxmeyer is the holder. His extra point is through. 14-7, 1:22 to go in the 4th quarter.
You're going to see Hinkle here with the hurry-up offense, as you said, Doug, rolling to the right. But now smart enough, knows he's going to have somebody in that left-hand corner, sets his feet. Nice job of getting that ball out to McFadden.
Everybody wondering, as we look at the scoring drive, 10 plays, 68 yards. McFadden's 8-yard touchdown reception. For Hinkle, that is touchdown pass number 7. And for McFadden, that is his first touchdown reception of the year. Everybody's saying, gee, why couldn't they have done that all night? They made that look awfully easy, but Parkland playing back a little bit, letting Central Catholic nickel and dime him again and taking a lot of time off the clock.
Well, you got a couple factors there as well. You know, you got a 2-touchdown lead. You're playing a little bit of a prevent defense at some point, and you're dealing now with a hurry-up offense that you haven't seen the whole game. So a lot of those factors come into play that people don't think about. But, you know, when it comes to Hinkle, he always does a good job in those pressure situations of getting himself in position to try to get the score. That time did a good job with a couple of passes, threading that one, and then finding McFadden in the left corner.
Well, the Vikings should line up for an onside kick. 1:22 to go. Pete Lang is going to try to do it successfully here for Central Catholic. Must go 10 yards. And he gets a hop, and it goes right to Ryan Kuiper. So Parkland recovers the onside kick, and they'll start 1st and 10 from midfield. There's a penalty flag down. This could go against Central Catholic for crossing the line of scrimmage too soon. We'll have to see if it does go against them. No, it's a holding penalty against Parkland. No, it's a personal foul. Sorry. So that was after the play. So the kick will stand, and Parkland will be moved back to the 35. Joe Lagenza, our referee tonight.
Well, that's something you don't see too often, especially on an onside kick. And you're going to see some things.
Now there's the extracurricular. Yep.
And the retaliation, and the flags fly.
And maybe the officials trying to set the tempo here. The game's getting down to the end. They don't want to see things get out of hand. Parkland most likely is going to take a couple knees. Now they're going to hand it off to Olson. Going to try to bounce it outside, and he will refuse to go down. We'll get up to the 41-yard line. There's Central's timeout. Woodsick, Christie, and Braxmeyer over there for the Viking defense.
6 on the play.
See Coach Roberts over there with the rest of the staff in his 2nd year. Doing a good job of bringing the Vikings back.
Take a look at Eddie Olson, whose 62-yard run was the first play from scrimmage tonight for either team and really set the tempo. Jump-started that Parkland offense, something that they needed. Won 7 plays, and since then they have yet to be denied. 7-0 lead, then it was 14-0, and a late touchdowns made it close. But the Trojans just looking to run out the clock. That was the last Viking timeout.
Just think, Doug, and we've seen them a couple times this year, just think where they would be without Eddie Olson.
Yeah.
I mean, with that touchdown he scored against Liberty as a defensive back, you know, the amount of yards he's run for this year. I mean, he came into the game with an awful lot of yardage, and he's going to leave with some more. I mean, he came in with 599 yards, and he's going to leave with a lot more again tonight. He had 2 touchdowns last week, and he's just done a tremendous job.
Well, he was averaging 7.5 yards a carry coming in. Just 81 carries, almost 600 yards.
I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, you know, I don't think people understand that's from somebody that hasn't played since his freshman year. I mean, if you're talking about a lot of the other running backs, you know, like a Pipparata or somebody like that, it's a whole different story. You know, or Baker at Saucon Valley, or Trevani, or whatever you want, whatever name you want to bring up. That's a different story. I mean, they've been playing 4 years of football. You know, that's the kind of thing you would expect. But for a guy that hasn't played since his freshman year, those are unbelievable numbers.
Well, Hager, who's come in for Searfoss late in this 4th quarter, takes a knee. So the Trojans will improve to 5-2. They have a home game next Friday against Dira, who is 1-6. Central Catholic plays back here on Friday night as a road team against Allen, who had a big win against Emmaus and is 3-4. The Vikings will drop to 4-3.
Well, that'll set up a matchup that following week against Emmaus for Parkland too, Doug. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of season left. We're just through week number 7. That's the last play of the game. The Trojans hold on and defeat the Vikings 14-7. Back with our Yakos player of the game right after this on TV2 Sports.
14,